All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm here for
Gankutsuou, the Count of Monte Cristo, episode 16. He be cackling.
He's cackling.
Oh
Means
boy.
He's winning.
Mm-hmm.
He's winning really easily right now.
Yep.
Things are moving along quite smoothly with everyone on the side in Paris. He has got Villefort for the most part under wraps for now.
Yep.
He's got things moving along quite swimmingly with Danglars, but Danglars' main thing is just that he's out of the way for the Morcerf situation, which seems to be getting primarily targeted because of Haiti and the fact that, well, Morcerf is pushing for a political seat of power, which will mean he'll be easier to hit before he gets to that point. So,
sure.
His rise will probably be in the point where the Count continues to just fire off salvos at him. But
there's a definite possibility.
We also have Franz and Beauchamp, who have been both attacking the Count indirectly through different ways. Yeah.
And Franz, I love you, man. You're great, but you're probably not long for this world now.
Just be careful and don't do this alone. Like
right.
Find a buddy.
Yeah.
And stick with them. Like if it's not Albert, like find someone. Find Maximilian or something.
Right. Exactly. Like, stay by his side.
Yeah. Exactly. So y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Reporters and.
Swarm of sharks.
ご家族はご存知だったんですか？将軍の目的はジャニナ国王の財産だったんですか？痛いおっさんどいてください。大統領候補はパリ市民に謝罪しろ。ご両親はマルセイユの出身とか知りません。そこを解けって言ってるじゃないですか。本当は貴族の家柄ではないとの噂がありますが、経歴詐称と考えてよろしいんですか？無礼な貴様ら、父を侮辱するのもいい加減にしろ。父はどこにいるんですか？正面玄関からいらっしゃったのですか。なんて無茶なことを。さあ裏口へ。ここにいては危険です。父はどこです？話をさせてください。本日はあいにく各方面の対応に追われていらっしゃるため、もうお戻りにはならないかと。そうですか。そして私は父を信じているからと。
Okay.
承知いたしました。手は全て尽くしました。しかし議会での弁明は難しいかもしれません。話題はすでに証人喚問が焦点に。先ほどご子息がいらっしゃいました。ご命令通り将軍はいないとお伝えいたしました。奴は何と。ご子息は将軍を父を信じている。
The way his eyes go to the side.
Almost like he's lying even though he's telling the truth.
Right.
Because he might even doubt that Albert is telling the truth.
Sure.
Hey! Okay.
Good man.
ユージェニー、今頃どこへ行こうというんだ。
友達の家があんな目に遭ってるっていうのに、お父様はほっとけというの？
バカ者。今行けばジャーナリストどもの餌食だ。お前とあのアルベールの間柄をあることないこと面白おかしく書かれて。
He's actually right though.
Yeah.
関係ないわよ、そんなこと。
Oh my god. Well, now she's definitely gonna try and run away. Like, without any...
Yeah.
Wow.
That might lower your value. Holy shit.
モルセール子爵のことがそんなにも心配なのです。
Oh my god.
僕でよければあなたの代わりにアルベールさんの様子
を
伺っていきましょう。
でも
随分探したんだぞ、アルベール。こんな大スキャンダルの最中、渦中の大本営に乗り込むなんて。
Yeah.
するぜ、お前も。フェルナンド・モルセール将軍に一言申し上げる。記者ロベール・ボーシャン。ボーシャンのところへ連れて行ってくれ。今すぐだ。アルベール、お前。
Yeah.
貴様、よくも今まで友人面して騙してくれたな。何がスキャンダルには気をつけろだ。お前は最初から自分のスクープ欲しさに俺の親父を売る気だったんだ。アルベール、いいか、 俺はこれから知
Good.
らないことすべてをありのままに伝え
Good.
嘘偽りなく。だからまず俺の話を聞け。帝国側の闇商人から買い取った権利書の写しだ。
ジャニナ国王妃バジリキおよび王女エデを1億フランで譲渡する。譲渡人フェルナン・モンデゴン。
彼はマルセイユに戻ると手に入れた金ですぐさま貴族の位を購入していたんだ。そしてその時に解明した。
アルベール、内務省の資料でもモンデゴはビルフォールと旧知の仲だったということが分かった。
Damn.
同じマルセイユ出身の。
お前ら俺の親父がモンデゴとかいう人でなしと同じ男だって言うのか。
Yeah.
寄ってたかって人の不幸を捜索して楽しいのかよ。
ふざけんな。俺が楽しんででっち上げの記事を書いた、そう思ってんのか。
So sit here. No, 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 no. Don't leave. Don't leave. Stay.
You gotta face this.
Yep.
俺が大戸湯の屋敷で見
Oh.
た伯爵の額の紋章は紛れもなくガンクツ王の印だ。じゃあ伯爵はガンクツ王になってしまったのか。
フランツ兄さんに会いたいって言ったのはお前じゃないか。お兄ちゃんも一緒についてきてよ。
何やってんだお前たち。
お兄ち
We made cookies.
おいで。
Fancy boy shows up.
Right.
ゃん元気がないってこいつが言うから一緒に。
Oh my god. That's so sweet. Little bits of comfort cookies.
But thankfully, so
Actually,
far,
gotta be-
just
they're gonna be-
emotionally, not literally and physically.
Oh, yeah. Shit. Oh.
いいか、次はお前だ。お前の家にも最悪が降りかかるぞ。
Whoa. Is he gonna start getting a little bit
I don't
worried
know.
about the count?
フランツさんの家だってたくさんの人がいらっしゃるんでしょ。昔はね、使用人もたくさんいたし、でも今は数人の召使いと母だけだから。そうだったんですか。貴族って言ってもいろいろあるさ。まあ俺は俺でアルベールのとこと違って財産もないから、外交の道へ進むときバックがあるのは悪くないと思ってたんだけどさ。ノワルティウ氏も言ってた。
Sunset.
自分の代わりにこれからはマクシミリアン、お前がバランティーヌを幸せにしてやってくれって。この人は
Probably
3年前に亡くなっ
Nortier.
た父
Oh,
です。
oh.
立派な船をお持ちだったんだ。
Oh.
ファラオン号といってうちの
Wow.
Whoa.
Oh my god. Wait, is it gonna have a picture of.
Uh-huh.
エド。あなたは
Oh,
エド・モンダンテ
shit.
を知ってるんですか。知っているのか。この人のこと。ええ。彼はモレル商会に
Wow. Oh my god.
That's our first view of him.
Mm-hmm.
That's our first view of him.
And Mercedes is in that picture too,
Uh-huh.
and like
このありさまじゃ入れそうにない
didn't couldn't see if Danglar was there as well.
こっちこっち。この屋敷で唯一セキュリティがかかってない扉。
Oh, of course you found it.
おいペッポ
Hey, don't doubt me.
早く。
I have my ways.
来たぞ
Yes, yes, that's the idea.
さよなら、アルベール。
Oh damn.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Peppo's just gone. Just abandoning ship.
Yep.
アルベール、あなたこそ無事でよかった。
母さん俺
ずいぶんやつれてしまって何も食べていないんでしょ。待ってなさい、すぐにご飯の支度をさせるから。
やめてください。そんな風に取り繕うのは。
私もフェルナンも本当の貴族なんかじゃない。マルセイユの外れにあるカタロニアという小さな村に生まれた平民だった。
母さん
お父様の本名はフェルナン・モンデゴ。
There it is.
気が
Yeah.
ついたら私はもう引き返せなくなっていた。一度貴族の出身と言ったらそれを演じ続けるしかなくて。
どうして母さんまでそんなこと言うんだよ。なんで父さんのことを信じてやらないんだよ。
その時それが嘘偽りであると分かれば、きっと私は天に代わってその場で彼女を裁いていたでしょう。でも 人は自ら成したことの報いを受けなくてはならないわ。
私
So
と
a
父は
friend of the
毎
count
年
brought ruin.
エドモン・ダンテスさんのお墓に花をあげに行っていました。しかし父は死に際涙を流しながら彼の名を呼び続けていたんです。エドモンに会いたい。エ
Okay.
ドモンに会いたい。
Oh,
Oh
どう
man.
して俺はエ
it's
ドモン
like
を救ってや
it's
れ
like
なかった
another
のか。
son to him. Yeah.
Yep.
エドモン、エドモン。あ、これです。違う。
Oh,
全然違う顔だ。しかしこの人が何か。エドモンはノワルティエ氏の記憶に残っていた名前だ。25年前無実の罪で宇宙の彼方の牢獄に送られたと。タングラール、彼はこの船の会計士だったのか。そうか、そういうことだったのか。あ、早く帰らないとアルベールが危ない。
Wait,
一体どうし
wait. Tell Maximilian before you go.
エドモン・ダンテスは生きている。
Oh. 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 Luigi Vampa.
Luigi Vampa.
バンパ伯爵の家で何をしている。
Yep.
Yep.
お前盗賊団を抜けたって。ペッパ
Baka.
伯爵の命でアルベール、あなたをずっと見張っていたの。
どうして伯爵がそんなことを。
もううすうす気づいてるんでしょ。伯爵がどうしてルナであなたに近づきパ
Yeah.
リにやってきたのか。
And they're just telling him.
Right.
主は間もなく地球に到着する。
With the thunder and lightning.
Oh. The Count? Oh, Albert.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, where's he headed though? Oh, okay.
I am very curious how this is gonna go.
Yeah, same. Oh, he's
Right
back.
as he makes his return.
Yep.
Oh my god. The timing is perfect.
Oh, that's so cool.
It doesn't look as friendly anymore, does it?
Nope. I just fade to black right there. Okay.
Oh yeah, and they don't even need to show
Wow.
the count. We just
Nope.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay.
All
That
right.
was
Albert has now felt the full brunt of the Count's manipulations and also the recoil of the blast of that bombshell dropped on his father. who
Exactly.
now he knows is not nobility,
Nope.
is potentially a war criminal and
Oh,
a
yeah.
scumbag who's done all kinds of shit to get to where he is.
Yep.
And his mother was complicit in it enough to where she let it happen or
Right.
didn't abandon this,
Right,
this-
didn't
this
abandon
man.
ship, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Probably on some level because of you, Albert, but still,
Sure.
the point notwithstanding is that you've been a man for a decent bit of time and you weren't brought into any of this.
Nope.
Probably because they didn't want to burden you with it, and
also
also
probably-
because you'd be a threat if you were
Exactly.
aware of it.
You naive and dumb, you know.
True.
So yeah.
So Franz, on the other hand, has been going deep in. Like, he knows some pretty serious stuff
Oh,
now.
yeah.
In fact, if he's smart enough, according to him, really
Mhm.
put it all in on the books, he might have figured out that this was a scheme to get rid of this Dantes, basically.
Oh, I think
And-
so, yeah.
And might have the
Yep.
majority of the story basically figured out.
Right.
The question is does he know Albert's father, Fernand's, kind of,
I think
kind
he-
of connection to all this?
I think he recognized probably Mercedes and Fernand from the old picture,
right,
'cause-
but on the
especially
picture
since
with the
Danglars was
signatures and
there.
everything,
Uh-huh.
Fernand's signature wasn't there.
Right. But Danglars was, and he knows that the three families were connected, and then there's Danglars, and then
the image with the Caderousse and
exactly
and Fernand,
right,
basically.
and with the confirmation that the one person was Danglars, and then everything else
it falls together.
Yeah.
The Villefort connection might be a little weak.
That might be a tougher one to figure out,
because
but
Franz doesn't.
Right.
The way he's investigating isn't going to lead him directly to Villefort, basically.
Yeah, like arrested for a crime he didn't commit. Theoretically, that could have been anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's crazy, though, is that as everyone is basically converging back in a kind of a singular point, specifically the Count, Franz, Albert, Haiti. Who else? Not Maximilian.
Not Maximilian. They're hanging out of this.
Clear end game.
Yep. Just
we've also got a little bit of a curious kind of situation, though,
with Eugenie and Cavalcanti,
because the way they're doing it, and I think this is something that is the Count's machinations, is that he's got his own plans for Danglars.
Right. Danglars thinks he got away from this, but the parasite's already in the system.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So as long as Cavalcanti is getting what he wants, he'll probably be a willing aid to the Count when it comes down to it. So right now we're getting focused on the Morcerf problem, and it's just a question of will Morcerf get basically just tried for, war crimes by the National Assembly of sorts, and then just be ruined. And the proper way I think he would be ruined, given the way that they're setting this up here, is that he'll be stripped of everything that he
had,
that he stole, basically, to get to this point. And then the Count will address him as Fernand Mondego.
Right.
That's how the revenge can be best doled out.
Yeah, because once that happens, then he will be defenseless against the Count, unless he tries to do some sort of seize the military or whatever.
Well, that could still happen.
Right.
It's just a question of whether or not that'll happen before the National Assembly kind of brings him up there.
There still is that bit in the ED
afterwards.
where the mechs are flying around.
Yeah, I think that, honestly, it will happen after the National Assembly thing, because him getting basically brought up to there on basically witness testimony isn't enough to completely ruin him.
Sure.
But then they will say, okay, then we're going to subpoena some witnesses. We're going to demand evidence that comes in. We're going to send people to go and do this.
And
that
people
will take
like
time.
Beauchamp have helped find a lot of witnesses. Yeah.
Right, but that'll take time. And in that time, he will start to panic more and more and more. And then he could do something really desperate and stupid.
Yep.
Like trying to do something militarily. But on the Albert side of things, this is it.
Yeah.
He will either entirely depend on the Count here, because the Count is actually a source of stability.
Yep, he is, yeah.
But given the fact that the Count
also
did
ruined
manipulate him, the Count is going to either have to convince him that he did it to save him from all this madness, like he was trying to extricate him, or he's going to go for the emotional route of, I heard Hades' story, and I could not help but want to help her. Right. And I learned of your parentage,
and I originally thought that you were some vile son of the,
But then I met you.
But then, and you were,
such a good-natured
you were good-natured, right? Yeah,
and it's all this stuff that he could totally use to manipulate Albert to where he can then get back at Mercedes.
Sure.
Because that is, I would say, Morcerf is someone that would care a little bit about his son,
right? But not
as much as Mercedes,
right?
would.
Because exactly. Because in the instance, Mercedes is a different situation, because the way that she betrayed Edmond is very different than the others, right? So very naturally, then it would follow that the way that he'll get his revenge on her would be very different than the others.
Yeah, it's not going to be something extreme.
Yeah, it's going to be and it's not going to be in the
it's going to be dismissive.
It's not going to be in the practical. Sure. Right? It's going to be in the emotional. So, because that's where she hurt him, basically. Yeah. Now, I could see something happening, though, where then the Count is like, yes, and you were a fool the entire time. And then he just twists the knife as a way to hurt Albert further, so that also then hurts Mercedes
Yeah, but then
or something.
Albert, I think, will be unpredictable.
Sure, or
and I think he's still a useful tool for the Count.
Yeah, and really in this situation, the person that I would expect Albert would run to if the Count also like twisted the knife would probably be back to his mother.
I think it might be Eugenie.
Sure, if he can find Eugenie. Yeah.
Well, that's a good point. No, he might not, because he knows that he's banging up against the brick wall of the Danglars estate. And
right, and she's engaged to Cavalcanti, and
yeah, we don't have
and allegedly
universe,
doesn't want to see him and whatnot.
Right. Okay, so then I think the big thing is then that the Count will be in full power. It's just the question of how is he going to expedite the Mondego Morcerf situation,
right?
Or is he going to reveal what was the reason why he left beyond just having that conversation with Albert? Because he just arrived back, which means he was doing some other stuff out and about, and
right. Yeah, I'm guessing that the Count wasn't just passively waiting in space. He totally could have been.
I don't think he was.
And granted, this episode didn't span a large amount of time, in
universe.
Like in universe. So it's totally possible that after he waits, a couple hours and then he's like, all right, okay, let's go.
He drinks and just laughs to the sky.
Yep.
And he's just like, oh, he's like,
right.
Yes, this is wonderful.
Right.
Oh, look at them, these little ants on
Look
Earth.
at you go.
Yeah, exactly.
But
oh man,
yeah.
Franz knows a lot. Eugenie is now caught in just a horrible situation where her father is turning to physical abuse, and then Cavalcanti is trying to be the salve to come in and be like, oh, it's such a horrible thing. And I'm like, I know your game, Cavalcanti, and yet you are such a scumbag. I can't root for you at all.
I so want to use his true name, but, I'm not going to.
Yeah. There's going to be a few people
you know what I'm talking about.
I know, but there's going to be a few people that have no idea what you're actually meaning.
Yeah.
So I'm laughing because they're going to be like, wait, Jacob has some special info? What?
For Cavalcanti? What? True name?
Think about it, guys. It's okay.
Yeah.
But, okay. That all being said, I would love to have a Haiti, Albert, and Count conversation with the three of them, because there is a unique dynamic that would happen.
It's going to be very juicy
if all three of them were there after having all the info that Haiti dumped out in the open.
Right.
There can be some really cool middleman stuff that the Count can do between these two having a conversation. So, that all being said, though, pretty simple, just gut punch episode, and then with the Luigi Vampa Peppo reveal was we
awesome.
knew that.
The one thing that I wasn't sure about is if Luigi Vampa would still be alive at this point, or whether the Count just hired them and then killed them at that point to help sell the lie. But
that was all staged.
Yeah. He just is
And
oh man,
I don't know if you. Do you know what Luigi Vampa does in the book at the end?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I got 80% of the way through, right?
Yeah.
And then I was just sort of like,
I think there's one or two kind of big things that Luigi Vampa is saved for.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of a thing to me where I see him back and I'm like, oh, good. Okay.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, sure.
Yeah, because I've gotten past this point, but there's a lot of things that are different in this from the book.
There's a lot of things that are different.
Just because the setting's different, so naturally, plot points will just be.
Yeah, I feel like in general we're headed towards a different ending in general.
And I gotta say,
which will be pretty cool.
I love this as an adaptation because it's something where I feel like I can re-experience the story and have the benefits of knowing beats of the story,
right?
But at the same time, it's a completely new thing.
Yeah, you're paying attention to the right things because of your book knowledge, but you're not aware of the plot details necessarily just because you have book knowledge.
Right, and the differences are not something that are problematic differences. It's still very much staying true to the heart of the source material, even though it's a different spin on it. And a lot of the times I feel like with adaptations, it's either so faithful that then I don't have as much tension because I know everything that's going to happen, or it changes things needlessly, and then I'm just like, why?
Right.
But,
I think a great example of this here basically is Albert. Albert as a character is one that could be very frustrating from certain circumstances because he's so dumb and naive.
Yeah, but he's 15,
But he's a young boy, but all the other characters who are being manipulated to be separated from him as he's being manipulated to be made alone here, they are not stupid and incompetent at times.
Right.
For the most part. And thus we get some really cool drama of who will Albert be able to talk with.
Exactly.
And
like
get these really cool moments of like just like good info being passed along to him. Like the conversation between Debray and Beauchamp and him was a really cool one.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I was just so like, no, Albert, stay.
Right.
Like let them keep talking.
And the thing is, it makes sense that, because I don't think it's something where he completely writes them off as they're not my friends or whatever.
No.
But it's that in this moment, they did ruin his life.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You know, like, so, or specifically Beauchamp, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, he has to process that.
Yeah, and he has to figure out, again,
exactly
who where is he going to call home now?
And what I'm hoping, this is like my happy ending, like, is that the Count decides to twist the knife here. Then Franz catches up with Albert later, fills him in, and that basically this is where the Count has messed up. Is that it's not that Franz was like going to die because he got too much information. It's that he was actually figuring things out, and that the Count started to get sloppy with regards to Albert, right? Because Albert was the son that he wasn't able to have, and all of that, right? You know, so then as a result of that, there's information that Albert has. Boom, main character is truly weaponized, but not necessarily against the people you want him to be weaponized against the Count.
Yeah, I could see that happening at the very end.
Sure.
Like, I could see that happening at the very end, and in some ways, I feel like that would happen, though, a bit too late for some of the characters when the Count and company start going on a bloody rampage, because there's a couple characters that are, like, poised to die at any moment.
Right.
And Albert is not one of them, but Albert is connected to all of them. Albert isn't truly alone yet. Like, things can get a lot worse. Yeah. So, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.